Hi everyone, my name is Robin Cermak and I want to welcome you to this call this evening. This is our team Wednesday night call and we are going to be talking about networking offline as well as duplication. And we've got a great call set up for you, and I want to just start off with the networking offline. And I'm so sorry. My sister is supposed to be watching Quincy. Let me shut the door. So hang on one second. Sorry about that. She snuck upstairs. These things happen on live meeting calls, right? That's what we talk about. We talk about building this business around our very busy lives. And that is the perfect example. So let me get back on track. So networking offline. And many trainings what I wanted to say was many trainings have been done lately on social media and building your business online. And believe it or not, there was a way to build a business in network marketing before internet and before social media. Can you believe it? It's hard to believe, but it is true. And many people were very prosperous and successful with doing belly-to-belly meetings and actually meeting in person. And I think one of the biggest things when you meet people in person and you connect is that it's so much easier to build that trust. It's so much easier to build that rapport in a faster pace. And obviously we all know that people buy from you because they like you and they trust you. So the different ways that I'm going to tell you about connecting are going to be actually meeting face-to-face. However, I'm going to caveat that with you will be using the internet somewhat in order to find those activities and those things that you're going to be doing offline. So you will be using online to go offline. And so the first one I want to talk about, and this is near and dear to my heart, and I've talked about this before, and believe me, I'm gonna change it up a little bit, but BNI. So many people are not aware of BNI, and BNI is Business Networking International. It is a global organization, and it is basically a very well-run, it's a corporation in itself. So there are rules, bylines, all of this stuff. It's not just some realtor that came up with a networking group in his hometown and decided to put it together. It is definitely very well-run. It's got rules and regs, like I said. So it's Business Networking International. You can Google it in your area, and what it is, it's a weekly meeting, and the same individuals come to this weekly meeting. But they only have one profession at this meeting. So there's going to be one real estate agent. There's going to be one mortgage lender. There's going to be one insurance person. There's going to be one weight loss person, one financial advisor. And basically there's usually 25 to 30 members of these groups, and they're all very successful, entrepreneurial-minded networking professionals, because this is what they do for a living. And so you meet once a week, and you basically get to know everyone in the group and learn about them. They promote doing one-on-one meetings. So obviously I just said there's 25 to 30 people in the group. So throughout your first couple of weeks or month in the group, you're expected to go out on one-on-one meetings with everyone in the group and find out who they are, find out about them. So, and the whole motto is givers gain. So you don't want to go into a BNI and say, "Ooh, I'm Robin Cermak, I'm with Isogenics, I can help you lose weight. Let's go, let's go, let's go." You want to go in there and you want to find out about them, and then you want to think, "Oh my gosh, you do real estate. My Aunt Mary wants to move. Oh my gosh, you do insurance. I need a new health insurance policy. You do this." And really your goal is to give out as many referrals as possible, and in turn, you're going to get referrals back. But you want to go into it with a giver's gain attitude. Now, it can be a little pricey sometimes. It can be, up to $350 a year to join. But the best part is you can join. I have chiropractors on my team because of BNI. I have personal trainers. I have other health professionals on my team. So many people on my team have been, I enrolled through BNI. And the best part is that you can go out and you can go and visit different BNIs for free. You may have to pay for your meal because they're usually at 7:30 in the morning for breakfast, or they're at 12:30 at lunch. The thing with BNI is it is a commitment. It's not something that you can do, on a whim. You have to commit. You really have to go every single week, but that's how you build your business and the consistency and the trust in the group. And let me tell you, when you get people on your team through BNI, they stay. and they stay, and the retention is really high. So you can go visit all the BNIs. All you have to do is Google them in your area, and you can go and just visit them and just write the president, just email the president and say, hey, I'd love to come out and check out your group. You just want to be careful. If there's already a group and they've got a weight loss professional in there, you kind of don't even want to waste your time going, because you're going to be stepping on their toes. You wouldn't want, if you were in a group and somebody came and they were selling Arbonne cleanse, you wouldn't want them to come visit your group and tell them all about how great their cleanse is. So really try and find one that doesn't have a weight loss professional. So the one in Olney where I live, so I've been doing a lot of research today while I was getting ready for this call, and the one that's in Olney, it meets at 7:30 on Thursday mornings. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it happen tomorrow morning because the baby, but possibly next Thursday. It's got a chiropractor. It's got a dentist. It has a massage therapist. I mean, it's amazing. And it does not have a weight loss professional. So I cannot wait to go visit that group. And there are 30 members in that group. So check it out. And you don't necessarily have to join. You can actually go visit a few and collect some names. And, you know, if you're looking for your 3 connections a day, that's a great way to do it. So BNI is very near and dear to my heart. I'd be happy to tell anybody about it, the pros and cons, and about how to really benefit from it. Okay, the next thing is the Chamber of Commerce. So the Chamber of Commerce always has things going on. Again, just Google Chamber of Commerce and they'll have all the activities that are happening in your area. You can become a member or you can pay the non-guest rate. But they've got great, really, really great events happening. And the next thing on the same line of the Chamber of Commerce, I did another little experiment today because I wanted to say that you can go out. It's fall season. And in the fall, there are so many festivals, right? Raise your hand if you're going to a festival or you know a festival, and it's like whether it's your church bazaar or whether it's, you know, a wine festival or whether it's your communities getting together for, you know, a street festival, whatever it is. All these festivals are happening, and a lot of them will allow you to set up a table. So I just looked up, I live in Olney, Maryland right now, and I did research. I just did a Google search. I said events happening in Olney. And it happened that it was the Olney Chamber of Commerce website that came up. And within 20 minutes today, 20 minutes, there's the Olney Farmers and Artists Market. I sent an email and I said, hey, I'm not sure what this is, but I would love to see if I could set up a table and exhibit at this event. I haven't heard back from them, but if it is and it's $50 or something, it's well worth me setting up a table and just getting in front of people. Because when you get in front of people, you're getting the exposure, you're talking to people, and you're gaining your own self-confidence in having perfectly great conversations with strangers. So that when you actually are talking to your best friend or your aunt or your mom, you've had 20 conversations with strangers at the farmer's market, so that builds up your confidence. It's a great training activity. So the farmer's market was the first one. I reached out to them. The next thing that came up was a networking mixer in Olney on September 22nd at 7 o'clock at night. I wrote to them. It was free. I registered. I'm going. So, I mean, it really was that easy. I looked up, you know, events happening in my area. So that's a networking event on September 22nd. I happen to be free. The next one that came up was St. Luke's Fall Festival. It's on October 1st. They do have tables that you can set up. And unfortunately, I'm going to be at a wedding that day. So I might find someone on my team who may want to do that event. It's a fall festival. I think it was $25 to set up a table. And it's at a church, again, meeting your local community and just, you know, talking about Isogenics, setting up, putting up some products, and really getting out there and getting practice. The final one, again, this was in 20 minutes, you guys, that I did this. It didn't take long at all. The last one is the 37th Annual Community Night in Olney. And last year they had 5,000 attendees for networking for small businesses. I must say that I thought I hit the mother load with that one. So I basically printed out the registration for that. It's on Columbus Day. It's on a Monday night at 7 o'clock. I'm free that night, so I'm going to get my team together, and I'm going to do that. Again, all of this just happened in 20 minutes today. So if you focus on getting out there and finding activities to do, you absolutely will be able to find them. You know, I know that a lot of people do a lot of business building on Facebook and on the computer, but there is nothing better than getting out there and getting out in your community and showing your face and letting people get, you know you. And that's what happens with BNI and going to the Chamber of Commerce. I can't tell you how many times I started going to these networking events it was before Quincy. I haven't really done a lot since Quincy, but now I'm getting back into it. But, you know, where I'd go walk into a room, you know, for a holiday party or something else. And, you know, people come up and they're like, Robin Cermak, you're the Isogenics girl. Oh my gosh, I hear I need to talk to you about losing weight. Like, people already knew who I was when I walked into a room. And that is some powerful stuff. So, you know, really, if you really want to grow your business, you have to be consistent and you have to be part of your community. You can't do it all on your computer. You absolutely have to get out there, make a name for yourself so people know who you are, and, you know, make it a goal. Oh my gosh, you're Genevieve. You're the health and wellness person. I heard I need to talk to you. How great would that be if people came up to you and were talking to you that way at parties? So, you know, Google it, challenge. I challenge all of you, you know, by, you know, write on our message board, tell us what events you found just by Googling and looking it up on the internet, you know, between today and tomorrow, and write down what events you've signed up for. I think that would be a huge testament to this call if you posted it on our events page for tonight. So along those lines, also, I mean, this is going to be a no-brainer, but on meetup groups, go online and look up meetup groups. Everyone's passionate about something, whether it's running or whether it's knitting or, you know, it's a book club. Book clubs are meetup groups now. I know that they were called, you know, book clubs, but I think now they are called just meetup groups for book lovers, and they basically go over and read books and go through it. Great way to meet people and a great way to get out. But I want to say this, and this is very important. You don't want to go into a meeting for the first time and, you know, and say, I'm Robin Cermak and I'm with Isogenics. I can show you how to lose 7 and 12 pounds in 11 days. You know, this is just like a relationship. When you're going to these meetup groups, you want to build the trust and rapport, and you want to learn about other people. And if you make a challenge to learn about everybody in the group before you say anything about yourself, I think that you're going to have a lot more success than if you try and get in there and start talking about yourself right away, because it doesn't work. People know when you're trying to force yourself on them instead of being genuinely interested in the group and in whatever the subject is, whether it's parrots or running, like I said, you know, or something else specific. Maybe you're a single moms group in your area, you know, whatever it is, you really want to try and get to know the people and, again, build that trust and get to know them, because you really do want to build that trust and the rapport. And then as you get into the relationship, that's when you start sharing. And you also want to keep up the mystery, you know, so, oh my gosh, I help people achieve their true potential and help make their dreams come true. What? Robin, that sounds cool, but I'll tell you more about that later. What, you know, tell me more about you. So, you know, don't go in there saying I'm a health and wellness coach or anything like. Make yourself sound mysterious and build the curiosity so that they're going to want to learn more about you. So that's a whole other conversation, but definitely look up, and when you're doing the search on actual festivals or events, look up meetup groups, and I challenge everyone to find a meetup group on something that you're passionate about, because we're all passionate about something specific.
Hey, Robin.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carrie had a question on the side there. Can you see
it?
Can you talk about how the conversations might go at a table at a community event?
At the table that I'm on, that I'm hosting? Absolutely. Yeah. So we try and make it so that they want to come up. So we usually have a pitcher or a big thing of hydrate, and we have the information up front. And as people are walking by, we're like, would you like to hydrate and gain more energy? And then as they come by, they stop and they're like, Isogenics, what is Isogenics? And then a lot of the times we'll ask them, well, we're a health and wellness company. What kind of health and wellness goals do you have? And before we don't go into, oh my gosh, we have the best protein on the planet. We get our protein from New Zealand, and it's no growth hormones, no antibiotics. Put it right back on them. We're one of the fastest growing health and wellness companies in the country and the world. But I would love to hear more about you. Can you tell me more about your health and wellness goals? Name the top 3 things that you'd like to change about your health. If you had one wish, what would you change about your health? And people love to talk about themselves. And then once you get them talking about their health and wellness goals and the 3 things that they would change, or the 3 things, or the 1 thing that they would change, then you go into, well, great, we have a solution for that. Let me tell you about blah, blah, blah. And you go right to the solution that fits what they've told you. Because you could have a person in front of you that may not want to lose weight, but they really, really want to, change their complexion. or they want to sleep better at night, and you're going into weight loss, and their biggest goal is to sleep better at night, or their complexion. So you really want to find out what their health goal is so that you can talk to that and not talk in this broad, we can fix everything, because then you just sound like a salesperson. So my suggestion is invite them in with some kind of, hey, do you want an isodolite? Pass out isodolites and invite them to your table with isodolites. But there's so many different ways you can do it. And we could actually do a call just on health fairs and just on setting up a table at events. I'd be happy to do that. We do them all the time. And, take pictures. We could take pictures of what it looks like so you can have an idea as well. But that brings me to health fairs. And we are lucky. We've actually connected with a company. It's called Kellen Resources. I'm not sure if they're international. I think they might be. But if you want to Google and see if they're in your area, they do health fairs in corporations. So they basically talk to the building manager and they say, we're going to do a health fair. Then they send it out to the people that are on their mailing list, and we are on their mailing list, and they say, do you want to exhibit at this health fair? And it's not a health fair. It's basically just 20 tables set up in the lobby of a building. And then they put up flyers throughout the building and say, health fair happening in the lobby on September 15th at 11 o'clock a.m. And so when people come out for their lunches, they have to walk right by your table. So we've had a lot of success with that. We've had other exhibitors sign up with us. We had a massage therapist. She owns her own holistic touch studio, and she came right over to our table and she said, I've heard of Isagenix. I want to sell this in my studio. We're like, great. I mean, those are the kind of magical things that happen when you put yourself out there, when you are ready to, get out there and really put yourself out there. I mean, your magic is happening. The universe is going to reward you and say, wow, she's really coming outside of her comfort zone, and she's really going for this. And so that's when, people are going to come up, and you're going to get enrollments on this spot. We offer, free enrollment for anybody who signs up that day to really create urgency and entice them to get started. So health fairs, festivals, meetup groups, BNI, Chamber of Commerce, and then there's the whole mommy clubs. And again, there's a lot of groups on Facebook that you can join, but their meetups are offline. They're out in, out and about. So I know that there's the one near us is Fit for Moms group, and it's basically moms that go out and work out with their children. But there's all kind of mommy groups, and I know, and we've got the Bethesda Stroller Club, we've got DC Moms Group, Mompreneurs, a healthy people group, and a lot of them have meetups offline. You just have to spend a little time, and again, you have to realize what you're going to focus on in order to because there's so many meetup groups, really kind of pick your niche and then figure out, and then really do some detailed searching online. Or if you just want to go put up tables at health fairs, or if you just want to go do festivals. And then the final along those lines is, have your own launch party. Obviously, this is the best way for you to meet your friends and family in person. Have your own event. I mean, we call it a launch party, or you can start your own group. You can have a monthly health and wellness meeting. And it doesn't have to be all about Isagenix. It could be, you could have many health and wellness professionals that sell different products, but just bring a like-minded. And that just keeps you, again, laser focused and bringing together like-minded people, which always builds your self-confidence. And what all of these groups and what all of this does, it helps make you stronger, bigger, better, more confident, so that you are, believing in yourself a lot more and putting yourself out there. So, and the enrollments come. If you are consistent with this, and if you say, I'm going to do 4 events every month and make it happen, I guarantee you your enrollments will double. I guarantee. Because you're going to be getting out there and getting, numerous leads. Normally when we do these festivals, sometimes we come home with 30, 40 new leads. And, it's about a 10%, 15% conversion rate. So it's worth it. It's worth it every time. I don't think Donna and I have ever gone to an event and we've come home and said, man, I could have been doing so much, different, better stuff on this Saturday. We always come home and we're just like, that was worth it. That was worth it. That was worth it. Let's do it again. When's the next one? So that's all I've got for networking offline. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Robin, Danelle had a question. What was the name of that group that sets up health fairs? I missed it too. Nobody's commented.
It was Kellen Resources, K-E-L-L-E-N Resources.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So the next we're going to talk about is duplication. And I was getting ready for the call tonight, and my other sister, Erin, she just said, just keep repeating yourself, which I thought was funny. I said, I'm going to use that joke tonight. So anyway, I see Jake is laughing. So I got a smile over there. So what I want to start with duplication, and I'm actually going to touch on some things, but I really just want to go through, some of the checklists that we have within Isagenix that are easily duplicatable. But first of all, I want to say with duplication starts when you open your mouth and start talking to someone new, whether they're someone that's already interested in Isagenix or whether they're the person that you meet at a network, at any of the events that we just talked about. Because when you start that relationship, they are going to remember everything that you did to enroll them into Isagenix, and then they are going to duplicate that. So you have to be really careful, and you really want to, everything that we've done, all of the training that we've done, you really do want to pay attention to what is coming out of your mouth and the steps that you take. For instance, when you talk to them and, if they don't sign up on the spot, you really want to do it by the book, and you really do want to say, great, you're interested, you've created your curiosity. Great, can I send you some information on the program that I do? Wonderful, what's your email address? Okay, when do you think you're going to have time to look over this information? I have availability tomorrow night between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Will that work for you? And set the appointment. I'm guilty. I know I'm guilty of it, where I'm like, great, I'll send you some information. It happened to me yesterday. I was at the doctor's office. The girl said, something about getting six-pack abs before she was going to have a baby. And I said, I can help you with that. Of course, I pulled out my ISA sales tools and sent her a couple of videos on Team Isagenix and all of the great videos on the athletes. But I did not set up the appointment. And I did not clarify when I was going to be following up with her. And I walked out of there and I said, shoot, I should have. Because that is a habit that we all need to be getting into, is setting up the appointment. Because guess what happens? When you do it right with them, that's all they know. So the next time, when they start talking to people about Isagenix, they're going to say, well, I know how Robin did it when she got me interested. She told me to watch this video, and then she said, I need to set up a time for them to call me. And so then they're going to take that and they're going to duplicate. So it all starts from the beginning. It all starts from the conversations that you have, and then basically how you set them up for success. And, I know that many of us do our own enrollments, but, you could, start by doing a Zoom call and walking them through you actually enrolling them into the program and showing them how you're enrolling them and everything, so that as soon as they get their first person, then they will walk that person through, and you're going to have a very clear tradition and a clear training on how to enroll people so that they know where they're putting people. And then again, placement is always key. So you always want to let them know to talk to their upline or their sponsor before they, actually place someone. But when you start doing that and not doing everything for them, the more they do themselves at the beginning, the more they're going to remember that, and the more they're going to duplicate that. So duplication is not about just setting lists. Duplication starts when you open your mouth. Or, in the between those two things that I just talked about, three-way call. What happens? So you set them up on the appointment. They said, okay, I watched the video. You called when you were supposed to call, which is very important to make sure that if you say you're going to call at 8 o'clock, you call at 8 o'clock. Follow up is key. Not at 8:01, not at 8:02, not at 8:05. You want to call at 8 o'clock. So, and when you call them, they watch the video, they're interested. Great. The next step, let me get you on a three-way call with my coach, because she can answer all of your questions. Then the next thing you do is you put them on a three-way call with your coach. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to get on a three-way call. They're going to get their person on a three-way call with you. It's all about the process that you take them through. Duplication does not start once they give you their credit card and tell you whether they want chocolate or vanilla. That is not when duplication starts. Duplication starts, again, the minute that you open your mouth and you start that sale, you start bringing them through your process of getting them enrolled. So three-way calls, definitely do the follow-up and set the appointment. And then you move on to the checklist. So once they get enrolled, obviously, Isogenics has done such a great job of giving us the new associate checklist. And I'm sure many of you have seen it. Genevieve, can you pull that up for me, the new associate checklist? I'm sorry, Tara. So here is the new associate checklist. I'm sure many of you have already seen this, and it's kind of combined. It's the new associate checklist, and it's combined with the new associate interview. So if you can scroll down, you go through, and basically you're going to go through with this. It's basically you going through I would go through this with them and just say, okay, let's go through the new associate checklist. We're going to do this. We're going to send, you've already gotten your welcome letter, and you can either do this on your own or just say, team calls, we covered this, your team Facebook page, let's do this. Because when they see you going through this with them, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go through this with their new person, and they're going to make sure that they're enrolled in the IsaBody Challenge. They're going to make sure that they're into Healthy Mind and Body. They're going to make sure that they actually go to the next step and go to the new associate interview. Referral management. I love this. And if you guys haven't read through this specifically, tell your associate as you begin to reach the goals, they will notice, as you reach their goals, many people will notice and want to learn more. Isogenics has 3 options for how you'd like to handle your referrals. By just having this conversation right here with your people, referrals, referrals, referrals. What did you hear? Oh my gosh, I'm going to be people are going to want to know what I'm doing. I'm going to get referrals by doing this. It's almost like a subliminal message that you're putting in their head, you know, referrals, referrals, referrals. How it's going to be definitely happening. So how do you want to deal with it when all of these people start asking you, you know, what you've been doing? Do you want to pass them on to me? You have no interest in doing the business. Do you want to learn enough to pay for your products? Or do you really want to get a second stream of income happening for you and your family? And let's really dive in. And, you know, this is going to give you a good idea of where you're going to go in after the health interview, which is, you know, we're going to go down. So basically, depending on what they say here, I think this is a great, great stepping stone to find out where they are, whether they don't want to do the business at all. If they say they don't want to do the business at all, really just let them enjoy the products at the beginning. Don't push the business, because many, many times you're just going to turn them off and they are going to just, you know, go running for the hills, and you won't have a chance, even though they do get great results because of a conversation that you had that made them uncomfortable. So if they say no, they don't want to, skip, 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 and then go down to page 3, which is the new associate health interview. And you're going to go through, and this is just so important. And it's so important for duplication, because you're going to find out a lot about this person by going through and finding out really what their goals are. I love finding out who their sports support team is, because then when let's say they're on day 15 and they're like, Robin, this is so hard. Oh my gosh, I got to stop. I got to stop. You're going to say, what would your brother Joe say? Would he let you stop? What about your son that said he was cheering you on? What about your sister Janet who's watching you? And you want to have all that information in front of you so that you can say to them, you've got a cheerleading squad. You've got people that want you to succeed. Don't quit. This is not as hard. You know, we can do this. Let's just tweak a few things. And by saying that, and by putting, you know, together people that they know and love, that are watching them and reminding them why they started, it's really key. This gives you a lot of great information. So who's on your support team? Anybody you want to join on your journey with you. And then you can add some things. Like, so for this health interview, I like to add in here, you know, I like to find out, I ask them, you know, what are some of your vices? What do you think got you where you are right now? You know, is it sugar? Is it alcohol? Is it caffeine? Is it overeating? Is it lack of exercise? What do you think, you know, what are some of your vices? And I like to also go into, and I know a lot of people do this when they're enrolling them and getting their information, but, you know, how much coffee are you drinking? How much alcohol? So I kind of add in a couple of extra questions on this so I can really, really make sure that we are coaching them to the best ability. And then if they said that they were interested in getting their products for free, or if they did want to, you know, really, really dive in, that's when you go all in here. This is when you go through these last 4 so page 3 with the health. This is page 4 and page 5, and there are great questions on here. What attracted you to network marketing? They may not even know what network marketing is, so it's a great opportunity for you to explain what network marketing is and why it is such an incredible industry, and why they were lucky enough to find a product that they were interested in that they could really get passionate about. And what, find out their why. A lot of these questions are going to lead to their why, which again gives you tools later on to keep them excited and to keep them motivated. And then of course there's the commitment sheet at the end, that if you could go to the 6th page, it's awesome. I commit to this, I commit to this, I commit to develop and follow through my 90-day game plan. When they're initialing this, you watch them initial this. This is powerful stuff. You're actually watching them commit to this. So the new associate checklist is absolutely, at least the new associate interview. And if you can get the entire new associate checklist done with them, that is key. And then so if they also have said yes to doing the business, I know that Dawn recently gave us this little doozy, which is so great, our new business checklist. And Tara's going to bring that up.
Hey, Robin.
Yeah.
Just real quick while she's bringing that up, I just wanted to make a point because I've been using, on my open box calls, I do at the very least, I'm doing page 3 of the new associate checklist, the health goals thing with everybody. And a couple things that since I've been using it as regularly as I have that I love, obviously I'm sending them the whole thing. So even if I tell them just to fill out page 3, they're seeing the rest of it, right, which has worked out brilliantly. I've had a couple people now, I hadn't sent them the U+2 video, but they had watched it by the time we talked because it was the last thing on that page. Yep. Number 1. Number 2, it actually has a lot of overlap with the way I do my open box calls. I follow the simple guide to a healthier you that comes in almost everybody's packs because almost everybody that I'm starting with some level of the 30-day. So I like that there's some overlap because they're seeing things over and over again. They're seeing from the simple guide that it's talking about IsaBody challenge and the same thing on that new associate checklist. So there's more duplication right there, and I'm finding that that's really, really helpful. Because they're already thinking about that, and the support team is in both places too. So it's really working and really flowing. And I don't know where everybody else is doing them, but it's working really, really well on my open box call.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think it's true. I think that with all of this, you've got the IsaBody challenge in front of them. You've got Healthy Mind and Body in front of them. You've got all of these great resources, and they're seeing that U+2, and they're seeing them over and over and over again. So not only is it duplicatable, but it's repetition that they're seeing, and it's getting in there subliminally. So Dawn made up this checklist, and I'm not going to go through it all, but it really is powerful. And it basically is going through the different steps that you would if you were going to be building a business. And it's going through IsaMovie and watching the U+2. It's going to Isagenix Business and going through the 6 modules in order to build your business. It's making your list of 100 names. It's basically just making sure that you have all your ducks in a row, and that you've got everything covered in order for that person to start building a successful business. And then basically you can elaborate on these steps and just really laser focus in on them in order to make sure that they really, really get it. So actually, I have a new business builder that just signed up. I sent him really quick. I did not cover the welcome letter. I'm going to go through the top 4 things that if you don't do anything else, these are the 4 things that you should do, because obviously there's a lot in that new associate checklist. It's quite a bit. I mean, it's good and it's great, and we all need to be doing it. But I don't want to overwhelm people by saying, oh my gosh, you have to go through these 28 steps in order with every single person. So first of all, the 4 things that I think, and this is just my opinion, but so if anybody wants to, add in after this, please do. But the welcome email. The welcome email should include their login information about their auto ship order, and it should include information about their website, their replicated website. And then, we on our welcome letter, we have, let's set up our open box call. So it sets them up for the expectation that you are going to have a welcome call, and there's going to be an open box call. And it also includes information on the IsaBody challenge. It includes the IsaMovie, and it includes the Healthy Mind and Body. So there's a lot of information in that. And then of course we've got some links that we also attach to our welcome letter. So first and foremost, everybody should get a welcome letter. And the welcome letter, if you already know they're going to be a business builder, you can alter it and have a new business builder welcome letter and a product user, or you can just use the same one for both. But definitely, out of my top 4, welcome letter. The second one is the new associate interview, and you can do that, like Genevieve said, do that along with the open box call, but basically you want to know who this person is. I think that's very important, and again, that's something that you want them to duplicate down the line, is the new associate interview. And the third is the welcome box. Make sure that you go through that box. If you don't know when they're starting, and if you haven't gone through that box with them, they're going to feel like you deserted them. They're on their own. They're starting by themselves. Oh my gosh, she got me started on this program and here I am. I don't know what all this stuff is, especially if you get a president's pack. I had somebody open up their president's pack the other day and they were just like, what? I don't even know where to start. So they want and they need your help, and doing that open box call is absolutely crucial to make sure that you are showing up as their coach and that you care. I mean, all of this stuff is just so important for duplication, but it's so important for getting them started on the right foot. If you go through this and they're going to bed at night and they're taking their Isoflesh and they've got your voice ringing in their head and you're just as excited as they are for starting the next morning, you're going to be the first person. I mean, you're going to be one of the things they think about the next day, and they're going to want to check in with you. They're going to want to send you a text and say, Robin, the shake was delicious this morning. Can't wait to see what else happens. So it is so great to go through that with them. And then the fourth thing that I think is most important, and again, all of them are important, but these are the four things you should do before anything else, is to add them to a Facebook group. And that is key for letting them know that there is a huge community out there, welcoming them to the group. Woohoo, we got a new person. This is a private group. This is a great group for motivation and support. Have everybody always write, welcome. It's great to have you. That really cements it, and they know that they have made the right decision and that they are part of something so much bigger than just a weight loss program. So those are the four top things. And again, but I definitely absolutely recommend going through the new associate checklist just to make sure you get everything covered. And for the business builders, Dawn spent a lot of time making that new business builder checklist. And as I was saying, I have a new business builder, so I sent him his welcome email. And then I just said, here is your checklist. Let's get going tomorrow morning. So we're going to go over the checklist tomorrow morning, and we're going to start with number one, and I made it a point that we are going to go through those, and we're going to nail every single one of them. And I know that he's going to be great. So that's all I have for our call. It's 9:41. Holy cow, that went by fast. So does anyone have any questions about duplication or about anything that I said about marketing offline and events, or anything that I can answer? Do I have you guys fired up to go out there and go belly to belly with people and get out there and meet people? Raise your hand if you're excited to go meet people. All right. I love that. The holidays are coming. People are going to be excited to get out and about, and again, just enjoy this beautiful weather that we're having here in Maryland. I'm not sure what's the weather like out there, G. Is it nice?
Oh, it's great. And it's actually way more similar to back east in the Northeast than a lot of people think. Super cool nights and really nice days. It's beautiful.
Awesome. Well, I know we've had some heat here, but hopefully the fall weather's coming.
Hey, Robin, I'm wondering, and actually I was just talking to Tara about this today, any tips that you have, or even anybody else on the call, about those that don't have Facebook? Because we're so connected on Facebook, and there's so much love flowing through our Facebook and all the groups and stuff. And I just feel like those people that don't are just so missing out, but I also want to they're not on Facebook and they're not planning on getting on. So anything as far as that goes?
I've had a lot of people that I really let them know the value, and some of them have been going through their mom's account. They don't want to set it up for themselves, but they've been going through their mom's accounts just so they can check in and see what's going on. This woman today said she doesn't have it, but she's going to go through her stepfather's account so that she can see what's happening online. She said she uses it every now and again. The only thing that I can say is really try and build up that value so that they can see the value in what may possibly wanting to set it up. And if they don't, then you just have to be really, really good at following up on text messaging and on emails to make sure that they feel like they're part of the loop. It is difficult, though. Unfortunately, we do a lot of our business right now on Facebook and social media. So, you just have to do the best you can, and it's double work a lot of the time to make sure that they've got the information. But, obviously it's worth it to keep them, happy and getting all the information they need.
Thanks.
Is there a question down here? Right. They can set up an account with something other than their name, other than ISA, or go through somebody else. But, well, I hope that this call was valuable. Networking offline is, it's something that I think everyone should do as part of their business building. And, you know, Facebook is wonderful, and social media is absolutely a game changer for all of us. I know that. But like I said, there's no easier way to get out there and build trust and rapport and get those people on your team that you really click with and like, and you know, really want on your team. And you know that very easily by meeting with them in person and just building that rapport. So and then with the duplication, you know, the checklists are already done. Nobody has to reinvent the wheel. Don't try and go out and make your own checklist. You know, it's done. Just print them out, have them everywhere in your office. New associate checklist, new business builder checklist, you know, what you do, the steps. And I love Hayden and Emily, basically they did a presentation celebration. They have a spreadsheet. They do it for each month. So they have the name of the new people, and then they've got welcome letter, check. New associate interview, check. My Isogenics we didn't get into. My Isogenics, check. U+2, check. ISA body challenge, check. Healthy mind and body, check. And so the person, they actually have it, and they make it huge, and they put it up on their wall. And so all the people that they enroll, they may basically go through this checklist. And so, because some of these things don't happen in a week, some of them don't happen in 2 weeks, some of them take a little bit longer if people are not canceling phone calls, or if they're just not ready to join the Ice Body Challenge or Healthy Mind and Body. So basically they keep it for a month at a time, and they do the checklist. And I've started doing that, and it has worked wonders, because I pull it up daily. I'm like, ooh, there's no X in that box. And then I go and make sure I try and get it done by sending an email, or, you know, making a follow-up conversation with the person, or rescheduling the open box call if they canceled it. So you really want to make sure all those boxes are checked, and to have a visual like that, it really is helpful for each person, just to see what your September looks like. All right, we're at 9:45. I really do want to thank, I know that everybody's busy, and I know it means a lot to take time out of your busy schedule and make these calls a priority. So I just want to thank everyone for your time and your great enthusiasm and participation. It's always great to see everyone's smiling faces, and thank you so much. Talk to you later.